Alan. Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
So just again, my name is Dana, and I'm a licensed agent in the state of Hawaii, and I just have to let you know our call may be monitored and recorded today. I understand you may be looking at some options to protect your family if you were to pass away. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have any family. Well, they're all gone.
Okay, well, all right. So I guess do you have a beneficiary, or do you have a charity, or do you have something that you know would carry out your final wishes?
Yeah, probably my girlfriend. So.
Your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so before I go into what we do, Alan, I would like to ask you just a few questions so I can get a better understanding of what you might be looking for and to make sure I could even help you in the first place. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any existing life insurance in place right now?
No.
No? Okay. So before today, were you out there kind of looking for a solution to put something in place?
Yes.
Yeah, and how long have you been looking?
I guess about 4 months.
4 months. Okay. What have you found?
Not much.
Oh, really? How do you mean?
Yeah. I'm just kind of exploring. I don't know too much about it. Actually, I don't know anything about it. So.
Got it. Have you actually spoken to someone yet, or have you just been searching online?
Just searching.
Online. Okay. So you've been kind of looking at it online, but really haven't taken it really serious yet because it probably feels very confusing.
It sure does.
Yeah, I can understand that. So have you ever had life insurance before?
No.
No. Okay. So what do you think is going on right now that has you thinking that now's the time to start looking into it?
My age.
Your age?
Yeah. I've been put into the hospital a few times, and don't know why. I'm type 2 diabetic. I've had a couple of low sugar things.
So your age and maybe your health and starting to think about mortality a little bit.
Exactly.
A little bit different than when we were in our 20s.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Okay. And so what expenses are you mostly concerned about your girlfriend having to possibly pay for if something were to happen to you and you did pass?
That part, I don't know anything about that.
So let me ask you in a different way. Okay, so let's pretend you pass away tomorrow. Usually some of the expenses that people have to pay for immediately would be like a funeral, right? Like a cremation or a burial, right? Because that costs money. So someone would have to pay for that.
All right.
Right. What about, where do you live? Do you rent? Do you own? Do you guys live together?
I rent.
You rent?
I rent. Yeah.
Does she live with you?
No.
No? Okay. So are you wanting to just leave her some money to live on when you pass? Or are you really just wanting to make sure that she doesn't have to pay any bills?
That'd be nice. Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Okay. Assuming it's affordable.
Yeah.
Are you working right now, or are you on a fixed income?
Yes, I am. No, I work.
You work? Okay. And
yes.
Your job doesn't provide you with any benefits?
No.
No? Okay. So we're really starting from scratch. Okay. So the one thing I can promise you, at least this much, Alan, whether you decide to get a policy or not, you're going to know a lot more about how it works than when you started this phone call with me.
Huh. Okay.
Okay, and that by itself is going to make you feel more comfortable and confident in making a good decision, because right now you're like, I don't understand it. I don't want to make the wrong decision. And so people like that usually just do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? And that kind of sounds like where you're at right now.
Yes.
So in order for me to figure out how much coverage would be appropriate for you, have you thought about at all whether or not you want to be cremated or have a burial with a casket?
Well, when I had gotten my driver's license, there's a little box in there if I wanted to donate my remains to like a university,
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure I checked that box. I mean, it's been
to donate
forever,
your
a long
body to
time.
science. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if you're eligible, right, because just because you check the box doesn't mean
Yes.
that they'll automatically take you.
Oh, okay.
Right? They have to make sure
Yeah.
that you're healthy enough and like they're looking for your, the state
Right.
of your body to
Right.
make sure it's what they need, right? So, and then if you do get accepted into that, then they pay for the cremation
Okay.
afterwards.
Yeah, that
So,
I
right?
understood that.
Yeah. But worst case scenario, let's say they don't, then
Yes.
the cost of cremation is about $1,500 to $3,500 depending on where you live.
Okay.
Okay. So, at the bare minimum, you'd want to look at maybe a $5,000 policy or less just to make
Okay.
sure, if she has to pay for cremation, she has the money to do it. But if she doesn't have to pay for it, then she keeps all the money.
Right.
Right? So am I kind of on the right track so far?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just make sure I understand everything before I continue. Okay, so you've never had life insurance before. This is really your first time looking into it. You've looked into it for about 4 months on the internet, but you don't really understand much of it, so you're very confused and overwhelmed. But really what it sounds like is you just want to put something small in place that's affordable, that will take care of maybe something like a cremation or possibly just leave something small for your girlfriend just in case she needs it. Does that sound like I got that right?
Yes. You sure
Yeah?
do.
Good. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you're concerned about?
No, that's about it.
Okay. So what I'm going to do next is give you a really, really easy to understand explanation on the two different types of life insurance so you understand it.
Okay.
Okay? Because there's term insurance and there's whole life insurance. And I have a feeling no one's ever explained it to you before.
No.
No? Okay. So when you're searching online, when you're looking online at the different options, Alan, do you ever see advertisements that'll say, seniors get $20,000 of coverage for $9.95 a month, or
Yes.
$100,000 of coverage for $30 a month? Do you ever see stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. So those advertisements are for what we call term insurance. They provide a large amount of coverage for a very, very small monthly payment because they only last for 10 years or so and then they cancel.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like renting. You know how you're renting right now? If you were to
Yes.
leave where you live and go somewhere else, you don't get any of your rent payments back, right?
Right.
You had the house or the place you live while you were renting. That's how term insurance is. It's renting a policy. So you have the coverage while you're paying for it, but when the term is up, you have no more coverage and your money is gone.
Okay.
Okay? So people usually get term insurance for things like income replacement or mortgage protection, like they want to make sure they don't lose the house, or they want to pay, make sure student loans are paid off, and like it's a just in case policy. So these are not policies you would want because if you outlive it, now there's nothing.
Right. Right.
Okay? So whole life is the exact opposite. Those policies are smaller. They don't provide as much coverage as these large term policies we just talked about, and the payment's also a little bit higher, but it's not unaffordable, right? Or nobody would get it. The difference is these policies last forever. They last for your whole life. The payment can never go up, and the policy can never be canceled at any age, unless you cancel it, right? You're allowed to cancel it at any time, but we can't. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the type of policy that I would recommend for you. Something small, like a $5,000 policy. You can get more than that, but something like that, that's a small, affordable payment that no matter what happens is guaranteed to go to your girlfriend or whoever you decide to list whenever you pass away.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions on what I just said?
No, I'm trying to write things down what you're saying, though.
Because I want to make sure you understand it, because this is really important.
Okay.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions about how it works, I'm going to ask you some health questions. Okay, so I can figure out how much you qualify to possibly apply for and what your payment would be. And you can tell me if it's within a comfortable budget for you or not.
Okay.
Okay, so I have your date of birth as April 10th, All right, so assuming we're allowed to answer no for that question, then you could get a $5,000 policy for about $45 a month. So before I give you any other options, how does that price feel for you?
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Okay. Now, you probably don't need this because it doesn't really sound like you need a lot of coverage, Alan. But for $5 a month extra, if you want, if you were to pass away from an accident, your girlfriend would get not just the $5,000, but she would get an extra $25,000 if it was from an accidental death.
Oh, okay.
If it was from a car accident, if you passed away from a car accident, she would get the $5,000 plus an extra $50,000. And do you ever island hop? Do you ever go from one island to the next, or do you pretty much stay in the
Not recently.
Not really recent. So if you ever did pass away, like on a common carrier, which includes an airplane or even a bus or a train or a boat, she would get $100,000 extra.
Wow.
All for that $5 a month. But I don't know if you even need, if you even want her to have that much coverage.
Right.
So it would be $45 for just the $5,000 or $50 with the $5,000 and all that extra accidental coverage. Which one do you like better?
The later one.
You like the $50 with the accidental coverage?
Yes.
Okay. Now you can go as high as $35,000 for the base coverage, but honestly, Alan, based on what you're telling me, I really don't think you need any more than this. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, that's right.
Is that fine? Okay. So